Let's walk through the new IRS Form 1099-DA and what all the boxes mean. This form reports crypto and other digital asset sales. A copy is sent to the IRS, your state tax agency, and to you. On the back of the form, you will find brief instructions explaining each section on the form. Let's walk through an example and explain what each box means. At the top left, you will see the crypto broker's information, including the name, address, and taxpayer identification number, which for most companies is their EIN, Employer Identification Number. Below is the recipient's information. In this example, we have Luca Draper with his address and social security number. If you have multiple accounts with the same broker, you may also see an account number listed. If the transaction involves a tokenized security, such as a crypto ETF, you may see a CUSIP number. Most regular cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, do not have a CUSIP. The information from Form 1099-DA flows into Form 8949, which reports sales and other dispositions of capital assets, including stocks and crypto. Form 8949 has separate sections for short-term and long-term transactions, and for transactions were or were not reported to the IRS. The letter code on the 1099-DA here tells you which section of Form 8949 needs to be checked. In this example, Code H refers to a short-term transaction reported on Form 1099-DA where the cost basis was not reported to the IRS, even if it is provided on your form. You may receive more than one 1099-DA if you have different types of transaction. For example, if you have both short-term and long-term sales, they will be reported separately, meaning multiple 1099-DAs. Box 1A shows the Digital Asset Identification Code issued by the Digital Token Identification System. If you see a 999 number, it usually means the asset is not registered in the system. Box 1B shows the name of the digital asset being reported. In this example, BTC stands for Bitcoin. Box 1C shows the number of units sold, exchanged, or disposed of. In this case, it is 0.01197 fraction of a Bitcoin. Box 1D shows the acquisition date, which is the date the asset was originally purchased. This box may be blank if the asset was transferred from another platform, if the broker did not have that information, or if the asset is considered non-covered. It may also show varied if the units were acquired on different dates. In this example, the acquisition date was March 11, 2025. Box 1E shows the date the asset was sold or exchanged. In this example, Lucas sold his Bitcoin on September 23, 2025. Box 1F shows the proceeds from the transaction. This is the total amount you received from the sale. Box 3A will indicate whether the amount shown in Box 1F is gross or net proceeds. Most people will see gross proceeds unless the transaction involves more complex transactions like options premiums. In our example, Lucas' gross proceeds were $1,307.95. You are not taxed on the full proceeds amount. To determine your capital gain or loss, you must subtract your cost basis from the proceeds. Cost basis information is shown in Box 1G. However, for tax year 2025, this box may be blank because brokers are not yet required to report cost basis. If your cost basis is missing or shown as 0, the IRS expects you to track it yourself. You should correct it with your broker if possible, or properly report it on Form 8949. If a cost basis is listed but incorrect, contact your broker first to avoid IRS mismatch notices later. In this example, Luca's cost basis is listed as $1,000. Box 1H shows accrued market discount. Box 1I shows disallowed wash-sell loss. Wash-sell laws generally will apply only to tokenized securities such as crypto ETFs that function like stocks or mutual funds. A wash-sell occurs when you sell a security at a loss and repurchase the same or substantially identical security within 30 days. Under current rules, regular cryptocurrency transactions are not subject to wash-sell rules yet. That means you could sell crypto at a loss today and buy it again tomorrow without triggering a wash-sell disallowance. Box 2 is checked if the broker reported your cost basis to the IRS. Starting in 2026, brokers are required to report cost basis for covered digital asset transactions. What are they? Covered transactions involve acquisitions of digital assets on or after January 1st, 2026, which means that non-covered transactions are those that occurred before that date. For those transactions, the broker is not required to report cost basis to the IRS. For tax 2025, all digital asset transactions are treated as non-covered. That means Box 2 will likely not be checked. Instead, Box 9 may be checked to show that the transaction is non-covered. Box 3B refers to qualified opportunity fund transactions, which is a more advanced topic we won't be covering here. Box 4 shows any federal income tax withheld. This box will usually be blank. However, if you did not provide a valid Form W-9 to your broker or your Social Security number was missing, the broker may have applied required backup withholding in those cases. Box 5 relates to certain disallowed losses due to ownership or capital structure changes, an advanced topic we won't be covering here. Box 6 indicates whether the transaction is short-term or long-term. This should match the reporting category on Form 8949 and the letter indicator at the top. For short-term transactions, you may also see ordinary checked, which means the gain may be taxed at your regular income tax rate. Box 7 is checked if you received only cash proceeds. If you received other crypto, property, or services instead of cash, this box will not be checked. Box 8 is checked if you transferred assets from another broker or wallet and provided the cost basis information yourself. It indicates that the broker had to rely on cost basis information provided by the customer. Boxes 11A through 11C relate to more advanced topics involving stablecoins and NFTs. If digital assets were transferred into your account and later sold, the number of units transferred and the transfer date would appear in boxes 12A and 12B. Boxes 14 through 16 contain state tax information, which will probably be left blank unless state tax was withheld. Because brokers may need to issue separate 1099-DA forms for different types of digital asset transactions, and because the IRS version of the form is not very user-friendly, many crypto exchanges provide a clearer summary version of the 1099-DA, similar to how stock transactions are reported. Let's look at this mock-up 1099-DA summary example from Coinbase. The same information is included, but it is organized in a more user-friendly format. At the top, you will see the recipient's name and account number. Under the Summary of Activities section, you will see the taxpayer and payer information, along with a summary of transactions. The report shows whether the cost basis was provided by the broker or by the user. It also separates short-term and long-term transactions. The total proceeds from Box 1F and the cost basis from Box 1G are listed here, along with the calculated gain or loss. The first page provides a summary table, and the following pages include detailed information for each transaction type. For example, under the short-term section, there is a note stating that the cost basis was not reported to the IRS, even if Coinbase, in this case, does provide it here. The broker 1099-DA form will also indicate which checkbox should be marked on Form 8949. In this example, it would be Box H. You will also see references to the original 1099-DA box numbers, such as Box 1E for date of sale, Box 1C for number of units sold, Box 1F for proceeds, Box 1D for acquisition date, and Box 1G for cost basis. The acquisition date may also display various for multiple purchases. The same type of information is shown for long-term transactions. If those transactions are non-covered and cost basis was not reported to the IRS, the report will indicate that the appropriate Form 8949 box, such as Box K, should be checked. Especially if you have many transactions, this summary layout is much easier to read and understand than the standard IRS 1099-DA form layout. Continue with the full crypto tax playlist here. Thanks so much for watching.